All right, happy Wednesday night, everybody. It's overrated, underrated, rated right Wednesday around here in Raiderland. Glad you're with us in the Arctic Air Studios. Hopefully, your air is Arctic. It is cold. If not, you need to call the bear. Callthebear.com. You understand that. Get you guys in early. The early arrivals, you know what to do. Let us know the audio is good, the video is good, whether you're on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, X, whatever you may be watching us on tonight. All communication brought to you by Market Street and United Supermarkets, probably just down the road from wherever you are. Great supporters of Texas Tech, and they got really good food and stuff. And it's a grocery store, and you can buy flowers and you can do stuff there. There you go. United Supermarkets, Market Street. We've got overrated, underrated, rated right, NFL quarterbacks all time. The quarterbacks all time NFL that you think are overrated, underrated, or whatever. We can also, bonus topic on this tonight, the Big 12 football teams that you think going into the season might be a little over or under or rated right. If you want to go that direction, that's up to you. And then beyond that, what do you want to do? It's day 3, I think, of the grub war around my house. We are watering in the granules and killing grubs. I believe my wife saw some grubs killed. So if you got killing thoughts, we'd love to hear from you tonight here on the broadcast. It's up to you. You guys will drive this show. Texas Tech football on your mind, Big 12 football, anything else. A lot of questions, a lot of comments. That's what we like on the show. That's what makes it fun. So don't delay. Don't wait. Just jump in. Even if all you're going to do is jump in and get on the chat line, whether you're on, X or Facebook or YouTube channel, and then just say, hey, glad to be out here. If you want to pray for rain, go pray for rain. Say, hey, I prayed for rain. We need it out here in West Texas right now. We're at like DEFCON 0 for dry land for most people here around the South Plains. So a lot of folks desperately need these showers that are popping up a little to the west of Lubbock to move across and help them out. So do somebody a good job tonight and pray for a little rain. All right, in 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, DRaiderland.com. Start your day on the website, DRaiderland.com. We give you cool hot links, all the fun stuff. We love putting those together. We figure if we like it, you'll probably like it too. And if you see something cool, you can post it on our website or on Twitter at Ryan Hyatt Media. If you're not following us there, you should. Everybody on YouTube, glad you're here tonight. We're brought to you in part by Gators Bayou in Lubbock, Texas. If you're coming in from out of town this year and looking for a cool place to hang out on Friday night or Saturday afternoon before the game or whatever, 90th and Slide, Gators Bayou. It's hot Cajun food. It's ice cold beverages. TVs, all the games are on. Don't ask to watch the Westminster, dog show. Ain't going to happen. And they turn the audio on for Tech games. So if you somehow can't go and you're looking for a place to go, highly recommend Gators Bayou. And some really good Cajun style food. I love their Cajun pasta there. It's really underrated. Start off on the mild if you go there. Also, when you're in Red River, New Mexico, and I hope you guys can sneak off to the mountains, I want you to go see my friends at Yesterday's Diner, just up the road a little bit as you're headed to Cuesta from Lifts West. And Dee and her crew, fantastic, great, legendary breakfast, as we all know. During the season, they're open during lunch and supper. During the off season, it's pretty much breakfast and sometimes lunch only. But go check them out. Tell them thanks for being a part of Raiderland. They're at Yesterday's in Red River. And if you've ever been there, you know what I'm talking about. All the Western, including this shirt, brought to you by Boot City, One Money Saving Mile, outside the West Loop on 19th Street. And we've already mentioned our great friends at United Supermarket. All right. Overrated, underrated, rated right. Let's get your comments rolling in tonight. Tell me what you're thinking about. And then if you got Tech football thoughts, there is a media blackout now. Our long national nightmare until August 31st is about to begin. No more video being able to be taken. No big deal. I just, we put that in the slug and everything because people think, oh my God, they're still going to talk. They're still going to do interviews. The media is not going to be able to show you any more meaningless footage that they have been showing you for the past couple of weeks of meaningless drills and meaningless stuff that people try to extrapolate far too much from. And I'm kind of joking here, our man Nathan there at the AJ and his, daily Micah Hudson catch. Yeah, okay, that's what he does. He's a receiver. He catches footballs. maybe the best stuff was Don Williams doing position updates by showing you who was rotating in at positions. But for the most part, it's why I really don't give a damn about practice anymore. One, from a media standpoint, don't get to see anything meaningful, and two, it's practice, man. But I get it. You got to feed the beast. I understand the media outlets that got to cover it. So yeah, if I were a coach, by the way, every practice would be closed. Every single practice would be closed. No media, no looky-loos, no hangers-on, nobody except me, my coaches, and my players. Because in practice, I may need to say some things. I want to do some things. It's not so much about, fooling the teams that you're going to play. That's not it. That I need to have some moments sometimes as a coach to coach or coach to player that I don't need you seeing. And if I were a head coach at a college level program, nobody's getting in. Football, basketball, nobody gets it. Baseball might be the only thing where it really doesn't matter because everybody pretty much does the same thing. Oh, look, they're working on hitting the cutoff man. Write that down. Texas Tech under Tim Tadlock working on hitting the cutoff man. File that away. That could come in handy in late April, early May. They work on hitting the cutoff man. But for everything else, I wouldn't do it. And I was around open practices in basketball over the years, some more open than others. And I sometimes felt bad for the players that some of what goes on doesn't need to be seen by the prying eyes. I don't care how much money you donate. I don't care how good a fan you are, how much you love it. There needs to be, in my opinion, a buffer and a barrier to some of that. So the whole tech media blackout, good. Don't, just have press conferences from now on out. It doesn't matter. It's fine. Jared, it's not like defenses don't know about Taj Brooks. Yes, Texas Tech working on getting Taj Brooks the football. Yeah. Well, that's going to change everything for ACU and North Texas, no doubt about it. Jacob is on X, and that's a platform and an application, and certainly not a reference to any of his drug habits. Tap breaks, but Texas Tech offense vastly underrated based on a round number of observations, as opposed to an even number. Okay, give me why it's underrated. Why it's vastly underrated. Not just underrated. He said vastly. Is there another kind? He said vastly. Overrated, underrated, rated right. We threw it out there today with all-time NFL quarterbacks. Like, is Joe Montana overrated? Terry Bradshaw, Roger Staubach, John Elway, Brett Favre, Tony Romo. Is Tony Romo rated right? Underrated? I don't know. Tom Brady overrated? Underrated? You tell me. Your all-time NFL quarterbacks rated right. And when we say rated right, means that they get the right amount of respect they deserve. No more, no less. And then we can also do overrated teams or overrated, underrated, anything. I like what Jacob is doing right here. Jacob's just going completely off script. Take the steering wheel. We're going 55 miles an hour down the road. Just take the steering wheel, chunk it out the window. Let's see what happens. What the hell could go wrong, right? So jump in. Thanks to United Supermarkets and Market Street on all of the chat connections, comments, questions, and otherwise. We like it. We enjoy it. So we got that tonight. There was one more thing. Headlines of the day. I want to get this out here real quick. Mike Wallace out of Midland, 1986 Texas Tech graduate, donating his second $5 million donation, taking up to $110 million in donation coverage cost of the Womble build there in the southeast end zone of 242. But again, remember, Tech doesn't have any money. Tech's poor, and Tech will never be able to do anything. Good job, Mike Wallace. Not the reporter. Jared, I thought Troy Aikman was slightly underrated. I think Troy Aikman would probably agree with you, Jared, that if you look at his not just raw number stats. I mean, he got 3 rings, baby. You know, he got 3. But if you look at how good he was in the postseason, completion percentage, no mistakes, hardly ever putting, well, you know, everybody makes mistakes, hardly ever putting his team in a bad position, that I rank him as one of the greatest postseason quarterbacks of the modern era. That he didn't get 4 rings, we can blame Barry Switzer going down the sideline looking for ice cream there against San Francisco. But that's another day for another story. I would say that Aikman is probably underrated and lost in an odd shuffle of the 80s quarterbacks and then the guys that kind of come after him in a weird way, that it was such a combined from 1991 to 1995, a real short time period. And injuries and atrophy and the salary cap kicking on the Cowboys, and it's gone real quick. That if Aikman had been able to play another, I don't know, 5 years effectively and gets his 4th, we probably talk about it differently. Chris is on Facebook. Hi, Chris. Robert Newhouse, underrated. Greatest thighs in the history of Dallas Cowboy football. He had calves like thighs and thighs like tree trunks. I think that was John Facenda. David Collier is done with being on TV. We're leading with Unitas Award tonight. What are we doing? Leading with Unitas Award? Unitas Award? I know. It's August 14th. I understand. I have never actually anchored on TV, but I've been involved in the industry. I get it. I understand it. And that's on a day when weather probably actually took their full time. Underrated is what? An Oklahoman, a quarterback, or a Brewer? Brewer, Patriot, Texan, Oklahoman. He wasn't an Oklahoman, Henrietta. And he went to Oklahoma, and y'all got his leg broke up there at Oklahoma. And then he had to go to UCLA and take my spot on the UCLA roster that could have been me. Could have been me. But no. You know, Terry Donahue and in UCLA, they've got Aikman. So they're not looking for any quarterbacks in West Texas. Football fake lead. Good call. Overrated, underrated, rated right. All-time NFL quarterbacks. Guys you don't think get enough respect. Guys you think maybe get too much respect. And I'll throw this one out right now for everybody who's on, and there's a lot of you who are on. Right now, give me Brett Favre. Not quite 20 years removed, but darn close. Give me Brett Favre today. Overrated, underrated, rated right as a quarterback. One of my favorite quarterbacks of all time. I've never said he was the greatest quarterback of all time. I said he was one of my favorites. That's totally different. 100% completely different. Totally different. So a Brett Favre, where do you rate him? Guys in the last 15 years, man, it's Tom Brady and pretty much everybody else was playing for second, right? You know? Get that. Am I missing something? Yeah, we talked about the media blackout. I'm all in favor of it and everything else. Overrated, underrated. You can do Big 12 teams that are overrated, underrated tonight if you want to do that. We may do that on a separate topic. I'm just trying to give you guys a big sandbox to play in on a Wednesday night in mid-August where everybody's going, golly, is it going to get here? When's 31st, 6:30 going to roll around? What do we got to do to make this happen? Ryan on Facebook, and you guys can get in whether you're on X, whether you're on Twitter, or Twitter and X, same thing, I guess. YouTube, and obviously Facebook Live. Lamar Jackson overrated. Okay, if we say Lamar Jackson is overrated, then you have to tell me how is he overrated. Lamar Jackson is about 3 different quarterbacks: regular season quarterback, healthy quarterback, postseason quarterback, which has been limited, in my opinion, by his coaching staff, by their play calling, in my opinion. Now, I think he's kind of rated right these days. I think he's kind of priced in. You could have said maybe 2 years ago, maybe overrated. I think he's rated right at this time. But a lot of the problems that I've seen watching Lamar Jackson in the postseason, particularly, and that's where legacies are created and made, it's been play calling, it's been, offensive design. David Collier, Flash Gordon, underrated. Dude saves planet Earth. All these Super Bowls. Joe Namath won one. Sam Jones, their New York Jets quarterback in the movie Flash Gordon, delivery was strong. Obviously, he's knocking out not Silence. What were those guys? I can't remember now. But then he leads the attack. He crashes in. He saves Dale in the goofy ass crazy scientist, and he saves Earth. So and I actually came across, this is weird, Collier, like yesterday or the day before, like the actor who played him, and his Twitter handle is something like Real Sam Jones or at Real Sam Jones, something like, I don't know. James is speaking on Facebook. I think Prescott is rated right for regular season, overrated in playoffs. Dak Prescott is a good NFL quarterback. He's not a great NFL quarterback. He's slightly above average, and at this point in his career, probably trending towards slightly above average, a little bit less. He has been asked at different times to be above average and highly above average, and it doesn't work. And that's the same thing that happened to the guy before him, Tony Romo, another slightly above average NFL quarterback. Cowboys this year, big regression. Offensive line is not going to be very good. And all the problems with CeeDee Lamb holding out, not a big deal. Contract deals that you're sitting there looking at with Dak, and it's not a big deal. Don't worry about that stuff. It's the offensive line. Offensive line regression is going to be bad for the Cowboys this year. I've got them at 9 wins on a good year, if everything goes well. Robert Delgado, Juan Soto was great last night. Don't care. I assume that's Major League Baseball and the Yankees. Robert, we don't care. We don't talk about the Yankees here. Robert loves the Yankees. We don't care. Nobody cares about the Yankees. Texas Rope. Man, if I read that wrong, that's really bad. Except for Madden, Favre rated about right. Aikman is underrated. Talking about all-time NFL quarterbacks. Overrated right. Yeah, Madden made a lot of money off Favre. Favre made a lot of money off Madden. And Frank Caliendo made more money than any of them. Here's a guy, when he runs fast, he goes faster. I can't do Caliendo, do Madden. Favre to me is really interesting because, again, the riverboat gambler and all that stuff. But it's a crime to me as a Green Bay fan that you had 2 generational great quarterbacks who obviously Hall of Famers, and Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre. You won 1 Super Bowl with each of them. My gosh. You might as well have been Eli Manning and the Giants. Speaking of Eli Manning, overrated, underrated, rated right. I can't say number 11's name out loud. He's not underrated. Certainly not underrated. Probably overrated. But I can't, for legal reasons, and it has nothing to do, by the way, with Don Williams. I can't say number 11's name out loud. But thanks for bringing him up. The guy who once kissed a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader on the sidelines at Texas Stadium after a win. Immoral Arizona State punter. Overrated, underrated, rated right on a Wednesday. All-time NFL quarterbacks if you're just getting in. We can do Big 12 stuff if you want to. We can do Big 12 teams, overrated, underrated, or otherwise. You got tech football questions tonight. You want to talk about that? David Collier's online right now, KMAC 28, Red Raider Nation sports director. I'm sure he can answer all of those. Although I bet he's wishing right now, after the heat and everything else, he was in Red River, New Mexico at yesterday's diner getting just an awesome, I don't know if he likes cheeseburgers or not. Garlic parm on the hot wings and stuff, but I don't know. Ryan Ivey on Facebook. I was a fan of Kyler when Cliff was in Arizona, but now he's overrated. He was overrated from day one. The mayor of Munchkinland couldn't play. He wasn't as tall as the aforementioned David Collier. It was a horrendous bust of a pick by Cliff. That's why he's not coaching the NFL anymore. I mean, as a head coach. And he's not rated. He's just not good. He's just not good. James, where do you rate Warren Moon and Randall Cunningham? Randall. All right. Warren Moon, first off, Hall of Famer, great. Obviously goes to CFL out of college, coming out of Washington. And because NFL teams, were like, oh, it looks like kind of, have you all noticed he may be black? Has anyone talked about this? He might be black. Anyways, he goes to Edmonton, wins a couple of Grey Cups there in the CFL, comes in, right time, right place with the Oilers, and I think he is a fantastic quarterback. I put him right there. Him and Jim Kelly, to me, are the same quarterback. That Kelly had just a little bit better defense, maybe a little more luck until you get to the Super Bowl. But I think Warren Moon, and the dude could spin it. Man. Great release, quick release. Would have been fascinating to see him play 20 years later. Trace going with Randall Cunningham. Dude was just like a freak show watching him play. Comes out of UNLV. You can't tackle him. He can do anything. He can punt. He can quick punt on third down for 96 yards or whatever it was. He had like some NFL record or something like that, like 90-yard punt one time. Hits Mike Quick for a 96-yard touchdown. He can move. He stays alive. Lawrence Taylor couldn't track him down. The great Monday night game where Taylor, I think it's Taylor. It's either Taylor or Harry Carson, goes after his knees. He jumps back, throws the touchdown into the end zone. Another guy who maybe plays 10, 15, 20 years too early, given what they could have done with him, athleticism and otherwise in the league today. And I hated the Eagles then, but I couldn't hate Randall Cunningham. Trivia time, Randall Cunningham, UNLV. Who was his backup quarterback at UNLV? A man famous in his own right, moderately recently retired, occasionally goes off the rails on social media. David Collier cannot answer this question because I think he... So David Collier can't answer the question because I think he knows. And thanks, David, for ruining it for everybody else. Steve DeBerg. Steve DeBerg and Dave Craig are the same quarterback. Steve DeBerg and Dave Craig, same quarterback. Thanks, and for cleaning up the spelling. Money was Sam Jones' birthday, by the way, for all of those who celebrate. We should. He saved every one of us. There was no Flash Gordon 2, was there? With Ming the Merciless. And they set it up when they have the graphic that comes on at the end of the movie that says the end. And then question mark, and you see the ring down there. Why was there no like part 2 to that? He was a lefty too, wasn't he? Wasn't the actor? Wasn't Sam Jones lefty in that? Hawkmen Unite. Golly, what a great movie. So cheesy. We must have seen that. Me and my friend Jeff Patterson, we must have seen that like 5 times. Literally would watch it twice in one afternoon. There's no telling how many times we went back and watched that. Yeah, sorry for ruining my trivia quiz. I feel like Steve Dale all of a sudden. Thank you, David. I appreciate that. Most overrated, Trevor Lawrence. Most underrated, Dante Culpepper. Dante Culpepper. Man, see, I would go rated right on Culpepper. And some would say never got in a real good situation, never got a real good fit in the NFL. I don't know. Now, Trevor Lawrence, I don't think he's overrated. He might have been overrated coming out of Clemson. But you know what he is right now? He's an afterthought. That's even worse than being overrated. He's an afterthought. Nobody thinks about Trevor Lawrence anymore. And again, we talk about going to crappy teams and sometimes they never help you. Is there a second act waiting for Trevor Lawrence? Whether it's there, whether he, 2 years from now, who would be comparable? A guy that I'm not going to say I'm old because in my mind, the ultimate second act is Jim Plunkett, who should be in the NFL Hall of Fame, who goes to the Boston Patriots, New England Patriots, and sucks forever. And he's almost out of the game. He goes to Oakland, wins Super Bowl, all that good stuff. Is there a second act out there for Trevor Lawrence? So I would not say maybe overrated initially, but I would say really right now just an afterthought. Overrated, underrated, rated right Wednesday. NFL quarterbacks all time. Your thoughts on that? Anything you want to rate, really. I mean, Collier might as well just jump in now. He's taking over the whole damn show. Just anything you want to rate, from Big 12 teams to, I don't know, French fries at your major fast food places. You tell me. It's all right. I don't mind. Alex Smith is the equal to Lawrence, coming out of Utah. Urban Meyer product. No, I would say Alex Smith has had even in San Fran before moving around, probably more productive career. Wow. Trace going off the top rope on Jameis Winston. See, I can't go down the overrated row on that because I never thought he was going to be a great NFL quarterback, even coming out of Free Shoes University. That it wasn't there. He had loose handles there. I mean, he wasn't accurate. That I never bought into it. Now, other people, maybe, but he's still, a 30-30 guy. 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. Hell, every pass he throws, somebody catches. I can relate to that, sadly. I had a night. Holy crap, Trace might have been there. This is true. This is a true story. Trace may be able to verify this. Trace, when we were freshmen, and I'm at J.T. Hutchinson Junior High, and I think you were at Evans. And we play on a Thursday night at Monterey under the lights. I'm almost certain you were there. You're not going to remember this. I was 10 for 10. 10 for 10 passing. It was incredible. Archie Sauter was most impressed, my head coach. Now, back in the day in Lubbock, the junior highs, you didn't have a home and a road jersey. You had a jersey, and ours was dark green with gold numbers, and Evans was red, dark red, with gold numbers. Stay with me, people. This gets good. So I always had a little touch of maybe some color blindness or whatever that the United States Air Force found out about on a visit one time. Anyhow, everybody looked freaking open. Now, you got to remember, it's 1984 or whatever it was, and the lights are horrible. Not good lighting. I'm blaming the lighting right now. But I'm blaming the fact that the red and the green jerseys, they look the same. And every time I unloaded, and believe me, the cannon of the arm I unloaded, it's amazing anybody held on to it. It was caught. 5 by my guys and 5 by Trace's Evans Eagles. And I think 2 might have gone back on a pick 6. I'm not really sure on that, but I'm pretty sure. And Coach Sauter was anybody who knows Archie T. Sauter, pride of Olton, Texas, West Texas State legend, West Texas State Buffalo legend. Um, after like the fifth pick, he's like, I gotta put Eric in. So, Coach, I can't believe it. I hadn't missed anybody all night. He said, that's a problem. That's problematic. We had a good laugh about it. Yeah, true. Yeah, 5 to mine, 5 to yours. Couldn't see a damn thing out there. I'm trying to remember. Damn it, Trace. I don't think you picked me. I really don't. Oh, well, doesn't matter. Yeah, you're probably right. And after I threw it, he probably hunted me down, trying to run over me on the way to the end zone. He liked doing that for some reason. I'll blame the lighting. 100% blame the lighting. By the way, on my Twitter feed, not that year, but the year before, Lauren Motter at KMAC 28, they were doing back to school pictures. And Brian Mudd and I are basically the same age. He's the anchor on KMAC 28. And he posted one of his long hair. And I'm like, yeah, I got you. I'm there. So I posted my football pick from 83 with the hair that Coach Hyatt thought, I don't even know who this kid is. Freaking Chad Lynn. All right. All right, we're going to get out of here. I want you guys to do a few things for us tonight, if you can. Share this. Wow, Don Majkowski, the Magic Man. Now we're going overtime thanks to the Magic Man. Green Bay Packers, underrated. If he doesn't suffer the injury that allows a young Brett Favre to get in against the Cincinnati Bengals and change the fortune and history of so many people. But Majkowski was, underrated. Tell me the truth. You just Googled up something, right? Well, I don't think you could have pulled that one out. Thanks to Gators Bayou, great sponsors of ours. Yesterday's diner in Red River, New Mexico. Man, I hope you guys can make it up there. If you're looking to go fishing, by the way, this is the time. The time. Late summer, early fall, into late fall in Red River is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Jeff Fagan is our guy up there. Fagan's Guided to Fly Fishing Trips. All the Western wear brought to you by Boot City and all the communication, even David Collier from KMAC 28. It's United Supermarkets and Market Street. They take care of Texas Tech, unlike some grocery stores around here. I hope you guys have had as much fun as we have had tonight. We'll be back with you in the morning on the website, theraiderland.com. Please, again, I ask you guys, if you want to do something, just share what we do. That helps out everybody else. If you see our businesses online or on Facebook and you see the sponsors, just hit them up and say, hey, thanks for being a part of Raiderland. I'm not going to hold it against you, Trace. You probably got one at least. Everybody else did. See you guys tomorrow. Maybe. If I can hit the button that ends this thing. It's like trying to throw a pass against Evans. Are we done? Why can't we be done? Is it really that hard? It shouldn't be that hard. And we were sitting here, an error occurred. Can we end? It's the broadcast that will not stop.